Hi guys, today I want to talk about something very deep in my life, and I'm recording this video first in English because I don't want maybe people that I know trying to understand it. I hope they cannot activate the subtitles because it will be bad. But I want to open myself here. And my reason to do it is because I wish I could help more girls, more women with the same thing the trauma that I had. So I have my pale face today, and as you can see, I'm kind of overweight. That's one of the consequences of these traumas in my life. In my case, I don't know other people. So I'm not judging here, I'm not condemning. How can I say this word? I'm not judging any moms or any parents. I'm not saying anything, I'm not professional, but I want to bring you some good thoughts and good experiences with my case. So they call narcissistic mom the moms that have it came from story. I better don't explain it this here. I don't study a lot about the concepts, but practically the experience I had was it's a person that is frustrated and they're too worried about themselves. Usually this profile of moms, of course there's tons of different ones, but in my case I had many issues when I was overweight since I was a child, and I live in a really small city, small town in the countryside in Brazil. So people used to judge me a lot, like I suffer bullying, as it happens in the world still, but especially from my mom and kind of like at home in my family. Yeah, my family they used to judge a lot if you were not in shape. Like, it was not just about health, because I was healthy that time. I mean, I hope I am now. I'm not dying. But right now, I'm the heaviest ever. And I'm also like, I was never so, I could never understand so well what happened to me. So looking back, I pick some details, maybe you can understand better. I remember I have always liked like leggings and black clothes. So I remember always when I was going to go out, like my mom used to tell me like, oh, you don't look good. You should cover your like shape, like cover yourself with some, I don't know, metal or box. You should not go out, because that message inside my mind was like, I was ashamed of myself. I was ashamed of who I was, who I am, and that's how I grew up. I grew up feeling that I was not appropriate. So I always, it didn't matter my shape, because I remember there was a time that I lost a lot of weight. I started going to the gym. I took a lot of medicine to like weight loss medicine, and that was not a good thing because I think I was a teenager. Yeah, I was like 15. And medication just made my head very disturbed. They were amphetamines and very like strong medication. And well, looking back, I just don't even know like how my parents let me do this. But I was very stubborn as well. Like, I want this and I want and I'm going to do. And then I remember the doctor that attended me was arrested because he gave a lot of medicine and the women didn't treat their minds. So the reason that you have confusions here, it's not about what you eat or it's not external. I use it to eat to feel whole inside me. Whole. God, I always confuse this word. I have an empty, really big black hole inside me, and I always feel empty. So I eat to feel my emptiness, which means I will never stop eating because it's not going to stop without a lot of therapy and emotional work. Self-knowledge and emotional intelligence. So thank God when I was 23, I started doing therapy. I started analysis in the beginning. And I remember I spent 2 years just talking about my dad. Of course, I can't describe here like in details my relationship with my family, but I just understand today that I was not really, I didn't feel that loved. Like, of course, it's not your parents' fault. Like, I believe all the parents try their best, unless they're like they have mental illness, like psychopathic, or I don't know, even a narcissist person. I suppose they try to love you, like a parent. When they don't refuse the child, I just don't know. Like, if they choose to be with me and try to do everything for me, I think in their minds, especially my mom, in her mind, she was right, probably. So it was a lot of small things that always disencouraged me to do things. Let's say, oh, you're going out with these clothes, like, oh, you're not going out, like, it looks ugly, and maybe your parents say, like, oh, you should lose weight. So I remember when it arrived the time to find a job, and in Brazil, people also can start work early, but to have a formal job, you should be like after university, you're going to look for a job. And I remember she used to tell me, like, you're not going to find work with like this body. Like, people don't want fat people working for them. And it was in a subtle way, like, I don't know, it's very confusing because when you have your mom, you just think that everything that she says is right. I think our culture in Brazil, we just make our parents very important, which is a interesting thing, but also can be very confusing when your parents have like a mental illness or like, I don't know, emotional problems, traumas, because they end up just passing all the traumas for the child, and the child, like, it's a non-functional family and you all handle it in the best way, but of course you're going to have a sick adults with traumas and a lot of problems, as we all human beings and higher from, like, it's our condition here. But I feel now I'm 31, and after years of therapy, I have been like, I came back to my country. I used to live abroad, and I was very depressed looking back there. I was very depressed. Like, it was hard to work, it was hard to keep living because I just felt like I want to be in the bed all day. I want to be in the dark. I didn't want to talk to people. And even treating like with a psychiatrist and a therapist, and the gaps, like the emptiness inside me, just it just kept growing. Like the more I grew, it grows with me. And I just had a lack of, I couldn't feel loved at all. And that brought me many consequences. Like, I was a shy person. I had some issues in my intimacy, like a lack of trusting, feeling pleasure. So I became an adult with a lot of traumas. And I don't blame my parents. I don't blame them because I'm like this. It's just a consequence. I don't think people people plan like, oh, let's fuck our son's lives, or like let's fuck our family and be sad forever. No way. I think we have these problems and we just need to fight them and like find the best way to deal with them in our lives. Should don't damage other people's lives or like friends. If I'm meant to be mom, I should treat myself like before giving birth. I need to be a good person, know myself, and be aware that I can love a child and I can do this in the best way. And of course, even though I'm going to make many mistakes. So after being depressed a long time, I'm not cured. I'm sorry. But today I'm kind of grieving because I started realizing very small things. Like, I came back to living with my mom and I started realizing that I didn't really like the food. And also, I met my boyfriend's mom. And I remember she was cooking all the things that they loved. And then I started thinking, like, what do I like? Like, does my mom cook my favorite food? I'm telling you this small stuff because that was the way I realized my traumas and it came back, all the things together, and I started realizing, like, oh, that's happened, you know. And I came back here and I just realized my mom had no idea what I liked. Like, I don't think she ever asked me or if I had an option to like something a lot. Because I was so compulsive that I used to eat a lot, everything I liked. And of course, like junk food and chocolates and maybe things that everybody likes. But she bought me a lunch in a restaurant. And then I opened the lunch. And of course, like with all my depression and bad moments, I look at the lunch, it's like I would never put it in my plate, you know? And that's embarrassing because she's bringing you lunch, she's making you a favor, she's being a good person, but she just doesn't know you. Like, it was very shocking experience that I'm like, it is being weird, like shocking experience I'm having here. So this one was one of the small stuff. Other thing is that I work online. I give English classes, and I have also my business. I'm sorry, my English bad. But many people have really basic English, so who cares? No, I'm kidding. It's a project. But what I was going to say is, she watched me online, and that's why I'm doing this video in English as well. And I know maybe many people will understand it, maybe many people that know me will watch it, but I don't care. I'm here opening myself because I want to help more girls. I want to make you understand that it's not your fault. You didn't do anything wrong, and either your mom is a bad person. I mean, it can be considered bad for the society, but she's a human being and she also has her struggles. And we just change it when we start looking at them with love as another human in front of you. And that's what happened with me. Like when I started doing this exercise, of course, it's a process about after a lot of therapy, like 8 years of therapy. And even though like I haven't finished yet, but it comes from your heart, your heart. It comes from inside your heart, and it's not something that you can do without professional help. I think you would take a life. I don't know. Sometimes I come back from my I come here. I keep recording videos, and then when I arrive there, the first thing she says like, "Oh, your speech is so beautiful," like I were a fake person. And then I start thinking, before I used to be very angry at her, like mad, like, oh, I'm trying hard, I'm depressed, why are you saying this to put me down? But I started to look her as a human, and then you just think, nobody gives what they didn't have, what they don't have. A person just gives you love when they received it. And that's a very deep thing. Like I feel touched when I talk about it. A mom will just give you love when she received love, or when she treated herself when she was younger, and she had a time to understand that even the like miserable love that she got was not enough. And if she could learn to know herself, she could love a child back. But it doesn't happen. Unfortunately, most of people, they just become moms and it happens. And then it will be a human being with mental problems, and the mom, it's a person there. And unfortunately, this person just damaged your life, like indirectly, and that's not something that they choose, I believe. Even though it's a transtorn, like a narcissism, I don't think it's meant to be treated. But if a person really wants, they can at least behave themselves to don't damage more, like their families, their child, they can behave themselves. Let's say they don't need to change, but you just need to respect and love others. That, like, if you decide to put a child in the world, try to at least put a good human being in the world. And that's my opinion as evolved person today. Evolved. You see, I struggle with words as well. It's my deep opinion of how we should treat our moms, and sometimes the distance is needed, even the emotional distance. Like in my case, I'm back here, and I don't earn much money to pay my own rent. Otherwise, my business will be very stuck. But I feel that I'm having the opportunity to make it better. Like, our parents is going to be old, and I'm not the person that wants to think that I didn't try to love my mom in the best way. So for those, sometimes I feel angry. The anger inside me is great sometimes. It's even like, it's something that I didn't know I had. Like, I feel many things right now that I even didn't know they were inside me. And yeah, I have never accessed this emotion before. Like, look, oh, it's a wound and it's hurting, you know, like, just hurt yourself after a big accident, you heal everything, and then you told, she's like, oh, I think this bone is not good. So that kind of what happened with me. And it's kind of process now that I feel I'm grieving. It's like a butterfly. Uh, I feel that I'm burning again because the the young woman, the child that I had back that couldn't feel loved, it's changing now. Because now I can understand. I would say I want to have love to give people. I don't want to be the person that make others' lives hard. I want to be light. I want to be a good thing. So that's the decision I had, and now this other person that I didn't know before, it's like my ego, the person that she made me believe I was. Now I'm discovering who I really am, and that's been such an amazing experience. I can't describe it. So I would encourage you, especially women, to treat yourselves and to don't live the hell with your families or moms, because this life is very short, and I believe we don't want to leave them behind without trying before. That's the real meaning of love, in my opinion. So thanks for watching this video. I have no intentions here. I just wanted to open myself and feel a bit better, and hope I could help some of you.